Okay, now we want to talk about different option strategies. Well, let's imagine that you have a stock out there that's selling for $60 a share. Let's imagine that this is a biotech stock. Tomorrow there's going to be an announcement by the FDA. They have a cancer drug. The drug will either be approved or not approved. The company has a couple other things, but basically the company is this drug. So if this drug is approved and it cures cancer, the stock price is going to skyrocket. But if the FDA comes out tomorrow and says this drug doesn't help and it's not approved, the company basically has nothing else, the price is going to plummet. So what can you do? You can do the following. You can buy a call option. Why do you buy a call option? Because if the FDA comes out tomorrow and says that this drug is approved, the price will skyrocket, and you will recall from the last video, if prices go up, you make tons of money if you own a call option. You can also buy a put option, because if the drug is not approved and you own a put, the stock price goes down, you make tons of money if the stock price goes down. So this strategy has a name, it's called a straddle. There are a lot of names of the different strategies in chapter 20. I don't want you to memorize any of those names. What I want you to do is be able to draw the payoff and the profit diagram and answer some questions about it. So you want to draw something that's going to look like this, where once again this is going to be the stock price and the y-axis is going to be your dollar payoff or your dollar profit. Alright, so to do this, what you want to do is the following. You want to have your position. In position we are long a call and we are long a put. Let me get this actually in a better place. Hang on just a sec. Okay, so when we do these combinations or these option strategies, first we want to write down the positions that we have. We're long a call, we're long a put. And we know the strike price. And I didn't tell you that. Let's say the strike price is 60 for both of them. So when you do this, you want to look at all your different strike prices and say what happens if the ending stock price winds up being below the strike, and what happens if the ending stock price winds up being above the strike. You need an equal sign, and the equal sign can go either place or both. So if the stock price, and remember, let me write over here, the payoff to a call is the max of 0 and ST minus X. The payoff to a put is the max of 0 and X minus ST. So really trying to understand what this is saying here. The call option only pays off if the stock price goes above the strike price. So if the FDA comes out and says this is a bad drug, it's not approved, the stock price plummets, the call option does you no good. If the FDA comes out and says this is a great drug, it's approved, stock price skyrockets, and it's going to make you a lot of money. Exactly how much, I don't know how high it's going to go up. That's ST. It goes up to that amount. My profit is ST minus 60. The opposite announcement, this drug is no good, it's not approved, the stock price will plummet. You have the right to sell for 60. Your payoff is 60 minus ST. Now, importantly here, well, hang on just a second, and then if it goes up, the put is no good. You don't own the stock. Alright, in this position you don't own the stock. So what happens for the stock price going up is you would buy the stock for $60. Alright, if the stock price goes, so let's put an example here. Let's say that the ending stock price, the stock goes to 70 after this announcement. You buy the stock for $70. I'm sorry, you buy the stock for $60 from the person that sold you the call. You sell it for 70. You make a $10 profit. Let's say the stock price goes down to 50, what you do is you buy the stock for 50 and you sell it to the person who sold you the call for 60, making that profit. Okay, so if this is the case, I need to add these up and get my totals. Right, so my total portfolio is 60 minus ST, and this is ST minus 60. So you're drawing this just like you would draw any graph back in high school. This is a piecewise function, and let's put some points on here. This is stock price is 60 right there. So actually, let me redraw this. Hang on just a second. Okay, so let's say this is the stock price of 60. What's happened just for the call? Sorry, not just for the call. Let's say if the stock price goes below 60, now we have this right here. So if the stock price goes below 60, you're going to have a line that looks like that. And remember, that's 60 right there. And if it goes above 60, you have something that looks like that. This is your payoff diagram. This looks great, right? Because nothing's below zero. We're always making money. So no matter what happens to the stock price, we make money either on the put or the call, so we make money in both cases. Here's the problem. We had to pay. We're long the call, we had to buy it. We're long the put, we had to buy it. So that had some price. And I'm just completely making up prices here. Let's say the call cost $3 and the put cost $2. So my total, I'm out $5, right? Add those together. So my profit is going to be 55 minus ST and ST minus 65, because I'm subtracting $5 from my two payoffs. So this is going to look like that, and this is going to look something like this, where this is $55, this is minus 5, the point right there where this crosses is 55, the point where that crosses is 65. Okay, so it's important, I think, that you understand exactly what's going on here. I have these two options that I've purchased. I just draw out, I just go through the steps of looking at the payoff function for the call and the put, and I know that this is my ending payoff. I'm drawing a graph as two portions. This is right here, this is a graph if the stock price is under 60. This is a graph if it's above 60. So it looks like the red lines. It cost me $5 to buy these two options. So this is the graph right here. If the stock price is below 60, the graph if the stock price is above 60 looks like this. So what's the end result? There's an announcement going to come out tomorrow. And if the announcement is good news and it goes, sends the stock price above 65, I start to make money. If it sends the stock price below 55, it starts to make money. So why would I do this? This strategy is because I know that news is coming out that's going to affect the stock price. I just don't know if the stock price is going to go up or down. I don't know if it's going to be good news or bad news. What happens if everyone believes this? Then everyone does the same thing. They all buy the call and buy the put. If people start to buy the call and the put, what happens to the price? The price that goes from 3 and 2 to 4 and 3, it continues to go up, right? So this goes up, up, and up. So it winds up that the market believes, the market believes that this news is going to move the stock price either up $5 or down $5. and if you believe it's going to move the price up or down more than 5, then you buy the call, buy the put. If you think the announcement is not a big deal, then you sell the call and you sell the put. Let's go into another example. Okay, let's assume that you buy a call for $3 with a strike of 30 and sell a call for $1 with a strike of 35. I want you to pause the video, work that out, draw the profit and payoff diagram. Alright, now I'm going to work it out. So what you do is you look at your position. My position is long a call at 30 and short a call at 35. So I want to know what happens if the stop price is below 30 and if it's between 30 and 35, and if it's above 35. So the equal signs, less than or equal to, they can go anywhere you want them to. So remember, the payoff for a call is a max of 0 ST minus X. So these things only have a payoff when they go above the strike price. ST minus $30. Actually, hang on just a second. Okay, and here ST minus 30, and this call only pays off if it's above 35. But I want you to notice one difference here. I'm short the call, right? So here's an important distinction. If I'm long the call, I've bought the call, I have the right to buy the stock at $30. If I'm short the call, I have sold someone else the right to buy the stock from me, in this case at 35. So I'm hoping, because I'm short, I'm hoping the call is not exercised. If it is exercised, I lose money. So my payoff, because I'm paying the person who bought it from me, my payoff is the negative or the opposite of the payoff if you were long. So here I do my total payoff, 0 ST minus 30, and this is going to be a payoff of 5, right? Because the STs go away. This is positive 35, that's minus 30, so the payoff is 5. What about my profit? Let me put profit. My profit is going to be, well, I bought a call for $3, that's minus 3, and I sold one for $1, that's plus 1, so it cost me $2 to get into this position, so my profit is minus 2, ST minus 32, and 3. Okay, let me try to draw that out. I have space to do it right here, maybe. So my ending stock price, the important stock prices are going to be, here's 30, here's 35. First I want to do the payoff. The payoff is going to be 0. If it's less than 30, it's going to be 5. If it's more than 35, and between these 2 points, it's going to look like that. And then my profit is going to look like this, where it's always $2 below the payoff. Now, one thing here, I don't expect anyone to be able to look at just this and immediately think, oh, I know exactly what this is going to look like. No, you got to go through these steps, go through what the payoffs look like, and then you draw this diagram from there. Now, some of the questions I could ask, I could say, what stock price do you want? So if you're in this position, this is your portfolio, what's the best possible stock price? The answer is anything above 35. What's the worst possible stock price? The answer is anything under 30. I could also say, what's the payoff if the ending stock price is, pick a number. So what's the payoff if the ending stock price is 34? Well, it would be 34 minus 30, or $4 is the payoff. What's the profit? The profit would be 34 minus 32, or $2. Alright, so I'll give you another example and let you pause it and work that out, and then I'll work it out. Okay, so here's the positions that you're going to take. You're going to buy a call for $10 with a strike of 55. Sell 2 calls for $7 each, or a total of $14 with a strike of 60. Buy a call for $5 with a strike of 65. They're on the same stock and they have the same time to expiration. Alright, so pause it and work it, and then come back and see what the answer should be. Okay, so the first thing you do is write down your position. And I always like to do them in order of the strike. So your long call at 55, you are short 2 calls at 60, and you're long a call at 65. So you gotta find the stock price. If it's below 55, the stock price being between 55 and 60, 60 to 65, and above 65. So remember, the payoff to a call is a max of 0 ST minus X. So the stop price only, the call is only exercised if the stock goes above the strike. So the first thing to do is just go through and give the payoff for one call option. Don't worry about being short or long or how many. First go through and give me the payoff for just the one option. Okay, now that we have that done, all this follows the payoff function. Now what happens, we're long 1 here, so we don't have to worry about it. We're short 2 here, so if you have 2 options, you multiply the payoff for one option times 2, and if you're short, you multiply by -1. And now you just add this up. I want to have, what does my payoff look like? That's 0. This is ST minus 55. This is going to be, that's 120 minus 55. That's 65 minus ST. And that's going to wind up being 0. Alright, what about my profit? Well, I bought 1 for $10. I sold 2 for 7. And I bought 1 for 5. So it cost me $1 to get in this position, because I bought this one and I bought this one. Those two together cost me $15, but I sold these 2 and made 14 bucks. So it cost me $1 to get in that position. ST minus 56, 64 minus ST minus $1. Alright, I'm going to have to slide this thing up a little bit here, and Now I can draw my payoff and profit. So this goes 55, 60, 65. So if I'm below 55, my payoff is 0. If I'm above 65, my payoff is 0. Okay, so if I'm at 60 exactly, 60 minus 55 is $5, and 65 minus 60 is $5. So if I'm at 60 exactly, it's $5. So this point right here is $5. Alright, now notice one thing here. All these are positive or 0. Right? So your possible payoffs are positive or 0. The worst thing that can happen to you is you make no money, but you have the possibility of making positive money. So this isn't free. You have to pay to get into this. Right? You know that the total cost of this portfolio right here has to be negative. It has to be a cost. So your profit diagram is always going to have to cross the x-axis, because any portfolio you have, there has to be a possibility of losing money and making money. If there's only a possibility of making money, everybody would be in that portfolio and that possibility would be gone. If there's a possibility of only losing money, nobody would ever be in it. So the profit diagram is going to look exactly like the payoff diagram, except, even though it's not drawn well, it's going to be minus $1. The distance here between the two lines is always exactly $1. Okay, so that's enough for now. Let me write 2 assignments up here. So I'll pause it just a second. Okay, the last 2 assignments to work out. Repeat what we just did in the previous example, except change the calls to puts, and don't worry about the profit. Just draw the payoff diagram for that one. Problem number 2, assume you're long a put and it costs $2. So P for put premium, and you're long the stock together. Draw that payoff and profit diagram.